It's our pleasure today to present a special guest whose books have uplifted the lives of countless readers, including celebrated American media personalities Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres. A former Ford model, devoted vegan, and New York Times bestselling author, the lovely Kathy Freston encourages a holistic approach to achieving optimal health and addresses wellness as a multidimensional experience of body, mind, and spirit. Welcome to Vegetarian Elite on Supreme Master Television. In addition to spotlight and media appearances as a wellness and personal growth counselor, Ms. Kathy Freston's elegant and engaging writing has been featured in widely read newspaper and magazine columns like the Huffington Post and the LA Confidential magazine. By esteemed invitation, she has spoken on numerous national television programs. She calls for a conscious shift towards healing as individuals and to let the healing ripple out to create a change in our culture. Supreme Master Television correspondent visited Ms. Freston at her beautiful home in Los Angeles, California, USA, where she shares her own experience on the importance of veganism.
Have you always been vegan, or did you suddenly have an awakening where you realized that spiritual awakening depended upon being vegan?
I was definitely not vegan. I grew up in the deep South, and I ate everything. I think we ate meat 3 times a day, and quite frankly, I didn't think about it. I remember one time as a child looking at a steak and thinking, what's that red stuff around it? And I thought, is it blood? Kids tend to have these instincts of kindness that we don't necessarily have. So I kind of went back to sleep on that, went into my 20s, and again tried to be, someone who was healthy, but everywhere I looked, people were eating high animal protein diets, and I thought that was the way to do it. So when I started being more spiritually minded, I started thinking that I should apply that awareness to my food as well. And that's when I thought, well, if the values I'm trying to live by, the spiritual principles I'm trying to live by, are kindness, compassion, alleviating of suffering when I can, and then I looked at my meals to see what I was eating, chicken, cow, pig, and then I saw the videos of what happened to those animals as they became that food thing on my plate. I thought, I'm not living by my values at all. And so if I want to be serious about being a spiritually minded person, I can't be a hypocrite with my food. And plus, when I saw the videos and read the testimonials of what happened behind closed doors, I was so horrified that that kind of food became less appetizing to me. So I made the shift.
In her book, Quantum Wellness Cleanse, the 21-day essential guide to healing your mind, body, and spirit, Ms. Freston discusses the important concept of lean in from day one, tuning in to the right direction, making small changes, and aiming for quantum results while working through adjustments.
You've often said that, when you're evolving towards a vegan diet, you should go slowly, gradually, reduce meat, one animal at a time, and lean in is your term. Do you still feel that we should go slowly towards a vegan diet?
I think we should jump in soon and then lean. I think we should take it very seriously, take our health seriously, take the environment seriously, and take our ethics and our spirituality seriously. And so we should jump in. But I do think in order for a new way of eating to stick, it's probably better if we lean into it ever so gradually. Now, that doesn't mean give up one animal and then 2 years later give up another animal. Maybe you give up chicken first, and then a few months later, once you found your footing, you also give up fish, and then you find your footing with that. You've discovered more new menu choices and recipes, and you know how to grocery shop, you know how to go to restaurants and order things, and then you give up red meat. So it's something that if you do it gradually, rather than just jump in feet first, I think the new way of eating will be easier and it'll stick. Because I want it for the long haul. I mean, when I did it for myself, I didn't want to just jump into something and make it a fad and then be overwhelmed by the new rules or whatever and go back to my old ways. I really wanted it to stick.
It's basically commit yourself that it's the right way to live if you want to save the environment for our children and grandchildren, and also if you want to evolve spiritually.
Yes. And I think with everything, you know, it's a learning process. And so you point yourself in the direction that you want to go. When I saw these undercover videos and I read these books about what happened to animals behind closed doors, of course I wanted to be a vegetarian. I wanted to snap my fingers and say, that's it. But I had tried a few times and I had failed because I was overwhelmed. I didn't know how to travel and eat. You know, I didn't know how to go to a friend's house and handle myself at a dinner party. I didn't know what I should order at a restaurant, so I was only eating pasta and potatoes. So as I did it gradually, I learned that there are so many choices, there are so many things I can do, there's a way of talking about it that it's not obnoxious and doesn't put people off. And then when I did it that way, it really stuck. I got comfortable with my food choices and I got comfortable with talking about it. And I think that that seems to be a way that is workable for people. Progress, not perfection.
When we return after this short message, Ms. Kathy Freston will talk about her highly praised best-selling books and how she motivated Oprah to take on the 21-day vegan quantum wellness cleanse. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Vegetarian Elite on Supreme Master Television as we continue our interview with New York Times #1 best-selling author and wellness expert, Kathy Freston. Apart from awakening the consciousness of the world by promoting veganism, Ms. Freston is also deeply spiritual and insightful. She works as a counselor and has written several books, including Expect a Miracle, 7 Spiritual Steps to Finding the Right Relationship, The One, Finding Soulmate Love and Making It Last, Quantum Wellness, a practical and spiritual guide to health and happiness, and Quantum Wellness Cleanse, the 21-day essential guide to healing your mind, body, and spirit.
Kathy, can you summarize the main points in your books?
To me, the whole purpose of our lives is to grow and evolve, and that means to become our best selves, moving through the obstacles, whether it's in our relationships or in our work or in the way we eat and oversee our health. The last 2 books, Quantum Wellness and the Quantum Wellness Cleanse, are all about shifting the way that we eat to eat more consciously, so that we are aware of how the food gets to our plate, what the process was for the food to become our meal, and then to choose consciously if that serves us at our highest level.
It is incredible to witness not only the quantum leaps of lifestyle changes brought on by Ms. Freston's writings and inspiration, but also the global sweep of awareness across media and internet social networks when her book inspired Oprah's 21-day vegan cleanse.
I understand that when Oprah was reading your books, she had an epiphany and realized it was sort of the same thing and decided to go on the 21-day cleanse. Can you tell us about that?
Oprah said that she will forever be a conscious eater, and that's what she wrote in her magazine, and she blogged about it. So she said that she would always think about the process of food as it got to her plate.
Yeah, one of the things that I really loved about her 21-day cleanse was, I think on the 2nd day, she wrote, wow, you know, whoever knew that vegan food could be so great? And she said, I was so focused on everything we had to give up, you know, chicken, fish, she was even giving up sugar and wheat and wine and coffee, and she says, who knew there was so much left?
Yeah, it's funny how there's so many different foods that we don't think about when we stick to our normal diet, because for me, I grew up eating chicken and rice and green beans, or steak and mashed potatoes and peas. So when people say there's not a very interesting vegan diet, I think, my gosh, I've discovered more food, more colorful, interesting, tasty, ethnic food than I ever used to eat before. So I'm actually quite satisfied in that diverse choice out there.
Yeah, it was really fascinating, because after that, a month or so after that, CNN did I think it was like a 6-minute piece or a 7-minute piece on, does vegan food really taste great?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it does. It tastes delicious, but I will say that there's an adjustment. When you're used to a high animal protein diet, it's very rich, it's very fatty, so you do feel the shift. I mean, when I first moved away from meat, I was craving it for a little while, because I think because I grew up on it, my taste buds were attuned to it. But I think that marks our evolutionary impulse to rise up above our immediate taste cravings. I think that's a good sign that we are willing to sacrifice what we know, and you maybe feel like you're missing out a little bit, but it's a short period of time and it's a small sacrifice to make, because as soon as you make that shift and your taste buds start adjusting to a whole foods diet, you actually begin to respond to food in a way that you can taste very subtle things that a plant-based diet has, and it's actually very delicious.
Thank you, loyal viewers, for your company today on Vegetarian Elite. Please come back and join us again next week for part 2 of our interview with author and wellness expert Kathy Freston. We will explore how small changes in our lifestyle can bring about extraordinary benefits to the environment and our shared humanity. And now please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for Between Master and Disciples. May the glowing rays of sunshine remind you of the golden glory of heaven.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/VE.